A black boy stood in a courtroom, trembling as the judge stared down at him. His father, accused of a crime he didn't commit, sat chained and hopeless, eyes full of despair. The boy's tiny hands clenched into fists. Still, his voice carried a conviction no one expected. He promised to heal the paralyzed judge if only his father were set free. Laughter echoed through the room. Surely no one could believe a child. But what happened next left everyone stunned. Could one small boy's courage really challenge a system built to break them? Watch until the end. Wait a second. Tell us where you're watching from in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more powerful stories like this. It was a quiet morning in a worn-down neighborhood. Malik, 10 years old, had just returned from school, his backpack heavy with books and dreams. He lived with his father, Marcus, a gentleman who worked double shifts to provide for his family. They were close, bound by love and trust, surviving a world that often judged them by the color of their skin rather than the content of their hearts. The day started like any other until police sirens screamed through the streets. Marcus was accused of theft, an allegation so false it felt like a nightmare. In an instant, their lives were turned upside down. Malik's home became a courtroom of whispers, stares, and assumptions. Deep down, he knew the system had already decided his father was guilty, but Malik refused to accept it without a fight. Malik watched his father being led into the courtroom, handcuffed, shoulders slumped. The walls felt colder than any winter night he had known. Every face in that room seemed to weigh him down with silent judgment. The prosecutor babbled and mechanically, weaving a story that painted Marcus as guilty despite the evidence being thin, flimsy, and circumstantial. Malik's heart pounded. He had always been small, overlooked, invisible, but not today. He noticed the judge's wheelchair, the paralyzed legs a reminder of human vulnerability. A spark lit in Malik's mind. Maybe he could reach the one person who held the key to his father's fate. When the boy finally stepped forward, his voice trembled yet carried a quiet determination. He told the judge about his father's innocence, about the life of hard work and love that no paperwork could ever show. Then, in a moment of raw bravery, he promised to heal the judge's paralysis if only his father were freed. Laughter erupted in the courtroom. Whispers spread like wildfire. Could a child truly hold this power? Would anyone even listen? The tension built as the judge leaned back, expression unreadable. Time seemed to slow. Malik's plea hung in the air like a fragile heartbeat. Every second felt like an eternity. The courtroom fell silent. The laughter had died, replaced by a heavy stillness. Malik's eyes locked onto the judge's, unwavering, desperate. He described memories of his father teaching him to ride a bike, reading stories at night, and holding him tight through storms. He didn't speak of magic or miracles. He spoke of truth, of humanity, of justice. The judge's fingers twitched, the first visible sign of life in his motionless legs. Gasps escaped from the crowd. The boy's words, pure and straightforward, had cracked the armor of authority, exposing the system's flaws. The room held its breath as the judge's expression shifted. Could innocence, hope, and courage be enough to bend the unyielding walls of prejudice? In that moment, the impossible seemed almost possible. Marcus was released that day, cleared of the charges that had threatened to destroy him. He embraced Malik, tears streaming, hearts beating in unison with relief and disbelief. The courtroom that once echoed with scorn now bore witness to something extraordinary. The power of truth, courage, and a child's unwavering love. But the story didn't end there. Outside those walls, the world remained unfair, and countless others continued to face injustice, judged not by their actions but by the color of their skin. Malik's bravery became a symbol, a question for everyone watching. How many children must rise to speak truth before society truly listens? This was more than one courtroom victory. It was a mirror reflecting a reality we cannot ignore. Where are you watching from, and what will you do to challenge the injustice around you? Take care.